Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Ivylaw Office Weekly Q&A session with myself, Force Ajikum,
Jumoke Oladapo, attorney at Ivylaw.
and both attorneys at the Ivylaw Office. Today we're gonna have a brief information session for you about TPS, that is Temporary Protective Status. And what it is, the Secretary of Homeland Security may designate a foreign country for TPS due to conditions in that country that temporarily prevent the country's nationals from returning safely, or in certain circumstances where the country is unable to return of its nationals adequately. USCIS may grant TPS to eligible nationals of certain countries who are all, in parts of some countries, who are already in the United States. Eligible individuals without nationality who last resided in the designated country may also be granted TPS. Jim, okay? Can you tell us some of the conditions and some of the other things we need to know about TPS?
All righty. So this is some important designation that we know that is available, and the conditions under which a TPS is granted will include if there is an ongoing conflict in a country. For example, if there's civil war, then the Department of Homeland Security Secretary can designate that country. If there is a disaster like environmental disaster, natural disaster, we've seen situations like that. For example, in Haiti. And also there are the extraordinary temporary conditions that may happen that could cause that designation. And that was a situation probably in Afghanistan. And those are some of the conditions where TPS is granted.
And what benefits comes with getting that TPS?
So when you have a temporary protective status, it doesn't really matter whether you have status or you don't have status in the United States. This is a protection offered by the government. So if you're removable before, if you were out of status before, it prevents you from being removed from the United States. If you have a TPS, also there is work authorization available to those who are granted TPS. And then there is opportunity for travel authorization that's been given to them as well. So you can work, you can travel, you can be safe in the United States without fear of being removed temporarily.
Okay, temporarily, okay. And, but you have to be in the country? Do you have to be in the country at the time?
Oh yeah, definitely. TPS is not for those who are coming from outside the country. It's for those who are already in the United States. And there's usually a designated date that is attached to the effective date of the TPS. So if the effective date is March 4, 2022, those who are in the country on or before March 4, 2022 are those who will be eligible for TPS, not those who are coming afterwards. And also it has to be those countries that are designated. And designation is done by the government. There are different countries, but you have to register to be able to get TPS. And basically registering is applying for the status. All right.
Excellent. Now, some of the basic eligibility requirements are that you must be a national of a country that's been designated for TPS, or a person without nationality who last habitually resided in the designated country. Okay, you got to make sure your country has been designated for TPS. It's not, some you may confuse with an asylum. It's two different things. TPS, you're required to be here before you can take advantage of that. Asylum, you can come and from anywhere if you meet the requirements to file for asylum. It's totally different, but they're both kind of humanitarian, so it's helpful. You can file during the open initial registration or re-registration period, or you meet the requirements for late initial filing during any extension of your country's TPS designation. You also have been continuously physically present, Jimmy just talked about that, in the United States since the effective date of the most recent designation date of your country. You also have been continuously residing in the United States since the date specified for your country. The law allows an exception to the continuous physical presence and continuous residence requirements for brief, casual, and innocent departures from the United States. When you apply or re-register for TPS, you must inform USCIS of all absences from the United States since the CPP and CR dates. USCIS will determine whether the exception applies in your case. So it's very case specific and it's about you individually. So you got to make sure you keep up with the status and with the USCIS and what's going on. How about who may not be eligible? Okay.
All righty. A lot of times, those who have criminal record, convicted of felonies or two or more misdemeanors, committed in the United States will not be eligible. And if you are found inadmissible as an immigrant under other laws in the other immigration laws that are non-waivable, okay, like non-waivable criminal or security related offenses, then you will not be eligible. If you're subject to any mandatory bar to asylum, you may not be eligible. If you fail to meet the continuous presence or the continuous residency requirement, then you may not be eligible. And I want you to note that continuous presence, physical presence, is a little different from continuous residency, and USCIS looks at both criteria. So continuous physical presence, you are here physically, but residency is you have to prove that you're like domiciled and things like you file taxes, you pay bills and all that, that proves your residency, and that's in the United States, that's a little different. So you have to prove both to be eligible. Also, you have to meet the registration timelines and the registration requirement. And if granted TPS already, then if there is re-registration period, then you have to re-register as required. All right, and if you fail to register, it has to be with good cause. Why you did not register, maybe you can get an exception under the late or the delayed registration. But it's important, it's really important that if your country has been designated, know about it and make use of it.
Yep. It helps you out just to be able to stay here with temporary status and get to work. They're maintaining the TPS. Once you are granted TPS, you must re-register during each re-registration period to maintain the TPS benefits. This applies to all TPS beneficiaries, including those who were initially granted by USCIS, an immigration judge, or the BIA, okay? And definitely will be able to help you with that. Now, how about the employment authorization? Can you tell us a little bit about that, Jim, okay?
So we said that one of the benefits of having TPS is that you'll be given a work authorization. And the work authorization is usually valid for the period of the TPS. So if it's granted for 2 years, initial period of 2 years, then you're given 2 years work authorization. Usually if they extend the period, the temporary period, for that country, you will get an automatic extension. We've seen countries that have been on TPS for years, like a country like El Salvador have been, there for years. And they've been renewed over and over and over again. And we've seen a country like Sierra Leone, where they're probably for a few years, maybe 2 or 3 years thereabout. So if your country is lucky to have it for an extended period of time, you'll continue to get an automatic renewal. If not, it terminates when the TPS terminates for your country. Another important thing that I want to note outside of the work authorization is the fact that TPS does not grant you permanent legal status, immigrant status. So it does not necessarily lead to green card or to citizenship. Okay, but you have to know that it doesn't bar you from seeking other legal status ways to pathways to citizenship. So if you have the ability to have a valid non-immigrant visa, you can have a valid non-immigrant visa and still have your TPS. Or if you are by local chance married to a US citizen who can file permanent residence for you, you may be on TPS, but still have the ability to file for a permanent resident through another means. It's the separate application. So it's good for when you have it. And if you have other ways of adjusting status or changing status, it offers you the opportunity as long as you are eligible to do it. All right.
Excellent. And can you, I know you said they'll be eligible to travel. Can you give a little bit more about that? How far, how long can they go? Are they able to go to the country they're being protected from?
Well, some countries, I'll say yes, because if it's not a civil war situation where naturally you don't want to go, but yes, you can travel. You can travel with a travel document issued to you. I-131 advance parole. I've seen people, yes, travel to the country of origin or travel to other places as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And that travel document is what will admit you back into the United States. So you have to have it on you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And currently, can you give us some of the countries that are eligible or have been designated as TPS currently?
Yeah, we have a lot of countries designated for TPS, probably up to 30, but a few ones that we'll mention today will be Afghanistan. Burma was designated probably last year or almost 2 years ago. Cameroon was recently designated. My fellow Cameroonians, please make use of it. El Salvador, I'm not from Cameroon, but yeah, I'm close to them. Haiti has TPS in place. Honduras has. Nepal, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, Yemen. These are some of the countries that has been designated. If your country is not mentioned on this presentation, you can definitely find out on the USCIS website whether your country is designated for TPS or not.
All right. And if you are on a list, if your country's on a list and you need help, definitely give us a call. You can find us on our website, and we'll be happy to help you, Jumoke. It's very knowledgeable about this area. She's one of the best. So if you call us, we will be definitely there to help you out. Whichever country you are designated from, we will be able to help you and be happy to help you. How did they get a hold of you, Jumoke?
So please give us a call. Office is called the Ivylaw Law Office, and we're located in Greenbelt, Maryland, but we serve people all over the United States. We're looking for immigrants and non-immigrants to serve. That's why we're immigration attorneys. Our phone number is 301-276-0887. 301-276-0887. And you can visit our website, ivylawoffice.com. You can send us an email. You'll find the email in one of below. Please give us a call today. Visit us, send us an email through our website. We'll be looking forward to serve you. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and a whole lot of other social media platforms. Would like you to visit those platforms as well to learn a lot. We release all these episodes every week to help someone, and we know that it's going to be helpful to a lot of people. So if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and spread the word. We're here to serve you.
All right. Yes, we are. Thank you very much for those of you who stopped by. Come back again next week. We also do these topics on estate planning for Maryland. Jumoke is also an estate planning attorney. So you will catch immigration or estate planning related content on this YouTube when you come back. Okay, so please subscribe and share. Anyone who you think may need some of this information, please share it with them. And thank you for stopping by. See you next week. Bye, Jumoke.
Thank you.